So we've talked about Lady Noir's development throughout this series and what's to come for them in season 4. And we've talked about Marisha and why the ship is essential for the reverse love square. But after pondering for a while and shamelessly collecting my Marisha crumbs, I don't think Marisha is going to really happen in season 4. In fact, there's barely been any Marisha scenes, only Adrienette and Lady Noir. We've established that Lady Noir will have a huge argument sooner or later and that something major will happen in the finale, as described by the synopsis. So where does that leave Adrienette? I think Adrienette's relationship will experience a huge development, with Adrien finally realizing Marinette is not just a friend. But to understand why, we first need to talk about why Adrien has always referred to Marinette as a friend, even though there's clearly some romantic feelings involved, other than the obvious reason that he's madly in love with Ladybug. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Cartoon Hotspot, and if you want to find out what the true meaning of the phrase "she's just a friend," then don't go anywhere without giving this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, hopefully you'll be sticking around for more video essays like this by turning on that bell button for post notifications. Without further ado, let's begin. Like my Lady Noir video essay, we'll begin this video by talking about Adrienette throughout the show. Season 1. 2 words. Umbrella scene. The best scene in the entire series, and no, this is not up for debate. I'll actually be talking about this scene in much more detail later on in this video. But for the most part, Season 1 Adrienette is pretty cute. It's basically Adrien thinking Marinette is a bit of a unique person, let's say, whilst Marinette struggles to attain some sort of normalcy between them, but obviously fails, seeing as she's just one huge babbling hot mess. We love you, Marinette, but as Tiki said,
"Girl, you have got to get better control of your emotions."
Season 2 Adrienette is by far my favourite. We see their friendship take a huge leap, with Marinette learning more about Adrien in episodes like Befana and Gorizilla, and Adrien going out of his way to make Marinette her very own lucky charm, and telling her of her great qualities as we see in Heroes Day Part 2. Adrienette in Season 3 takes one step further, where we witness Adrien going as far as to threaten Lila to not hurt his just a friend. However, scenes like the puppeteer statue scene are just unforgivable. I think that's when Adrienette sort of went downhill in my opinion, and we all know the New York special was just a different level of angst. But of course, the one scene that stands out is the Adrienette moonlight dance. Now let's actually get into the tea of this video that you all are waiting for. So here's the deal. Adrien knows Marinette likes him, or at least has a tiny crush on him, and I have reason to believe this. And you guys are probably wondering, what? That's not possible. He always calls her a friend. True, but Adrien isn't as blind as we all think he is. In fact, I'd argue that he's pretty alert and receptive to a lot of things. If you watch the episode Rocketeer, Adrien appears worried that Alia may have a crush on him, which at first came across as cocky and bizarre, but if you think about it, I don't blame him. He knows Kagami, Lila and possibly Chloe are all infatuated with him. He just chooses not to say anything. So there is no way on earth that this dude isn't aware that Marinette might have had a slight crush on him. But because he's so nice, and compared to Lila and Chloe who just throw themselves at him, Marinette's behaviour around him is much more different, so he just goes along with it. But this isn't where it ends. Adrien likes Marinette back, and deep down he knows this. He refers to her as just a friend because he's afraid of ruining something solid that he has. I think because he's so used to getting rejected by Ladybug that he fears the same thing will happen with Marinette, and so he holds on to dearly his friendship with her and convinces himself that she is nothing more than a friend. You know, when you tell yourself a lie so much that you end up believing it? Think of it that way. I also think this ties in with Adrien's character flaw. In a previous video, I stated that Adrien's biggest flaw is not knowing his true self, not being comfortable in his own shoes, and that mainly stems from him being sheltered and controlled by his father all his life. Subconsciously, I think Adrien believes Cat Noir is his true self, but that doesn't make Adrien's character any less valid. Like I said before, since Adrien doesn't know who his true self is, then we as the audience won't know. We can only guess. And I'd probably say his true self is a mix of his personalities as Cat Noir and Adrien. The point is, I think Adrien is afraid of showing Marinette who he really is, that being the pun-making, sensitive, sweet jokester. Either that, or he doesn't exactly know how to, because it all goes back to how he was raised. Since his father hasn't even bothered and has no interest in taking the time of his day to bond with his son and get to know him, Adrien's probably thinking at the back of his mind, well, if my dad doesn't want to know, why should anyone else? My dad doesn't accept me for who I am, so why would anyone else? And I think this is a valid point, because Adrien himself in Optigami said to Ladybug, to know me means to love me. Exactly. You can't love someone if you don't know them, and they can't love you if they don't know you, or at least they can't love you to the fullest extent. Which brings me on to a common debate I see all over social media within the Miraculous Ladybug fandom. Is Marinette in love with the idea of Adrien, or is she truly in love with him? And my answer to that is, yes, she is. She's in love with him for who he is and not what he is. The umbrella scene proves that. She fell in love with his kindness and his vulnerability, and I think that's so pure. She didn't care if he was the son of her favorite fashion designer. In fact, she disliked him at first after that whole chewing gum incident. But once Adrien showed his vulnerable side by telling her making friends is all sort of new to him, she couldn't help but to fall for him, his imperfections that make him so perfect. However, because we have to be objective here, Marinette doesn't know the real Adrien. The fact remains, Adrienette hasn't reached that point in their relationship like Lady Noir has. Lady Noir has grown to really know each other, and when you know someone, you love them. You see all sides to them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is due to, again, Adrien's complexity as a character and his dual nature, allowing himself to be free and open in the ways he can't be in his everyday civilian form. This level of openness in Lady Noir isn't present in Adrienette, which is why their relationship is somewhat stagnant. Like mentioned before, Adrien might want to show Marinette who he is, but he just doesn't have the confidence to. So of course, Marinette isn't able to see Adrien beyond what he projects. So in other words, what you present is what is perceived. Adrien has only shown his reserved side, but hasn't shown all his sides. So of course, Marinette is only going to be in love with the side he shows. You all are probably thinking I've gone off on a tangent, and you're all wondering, what the heck does this have to do with Adrien liking Marinette back? Adrien likes Marinette, which he knows and suppresses because he has seen all sides to Marinette. Compared to Adrien, Marinette has grown to showcase more of her confidence. In season 1, she kinda hid it, but as the series has progressed, she no longer hides her ladybug side. In fact, she embraces it so much. That's the difference in their characters. They mirror each other, and perhaps in a later video I will explain the complexity of the love square because it's deeper than you think. Anyways, back to this video. Adrien is aware of how similar Marinette and Ladybug are. He's put the pieces together not once but 3 times if I'm not mistaken. He's even referred to her as his everyday Ladybug, meaning he wants her to be Ladybug so badly, and he can't picture anyone else being her. He's come to appreciate how clumsy she is, how assertive and dominant she is, how goofy she is, all sides to her, and he loves her for that. But the only thing stopping him from making his move is him, for the reasons I've already outlined earlier on in this video. So where does that leave Adrienette in season 4, you might ask? To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure myself. Season 4 has thrown in so many surprises that I can't even predict what would happen to Adrienette, since the season is mainly focused on Lady Noir. But maybe the Lady Noir argument is the key to the reverse love square. Sure, I said Marisha is the key, but it doesn't have to be the only key, right? Perhaps after Ladybug and Cat Noir argue, this might be an eye-opener for Adrien, and he realizes that Marinette is someone who always puts him first and never leaves him in the dark. I don't know, but I'm more than interested in hearing your theories and what you think will happen to Adrienette, so go ahead and comment them down. Okay, shoutouts for this week. Last theory video, I asked you guys to comment what you think will happen towards the end of season 4. So basically share your theories with me, and so here are the shoutouts for those. Shoutouts to Julia Hume, Milk M100, Abby, The Doomslayer, Petal Embrace, and Soraya. And for bonuses, I asked you guys to guess the song used in my outro, and not many people got that right surprisingly. So shoutouts to Zoe Singh, Jawtastic, Super Bacon, Dracos Girl, Miraculous Edit, and Tulika Jamea. And special shout out to Amaya Rodney for sending me her beautiful fan art of Tiki. Thank you so much for sending me this cute drawing, and that goes for anyone who'd like to send me their amazing work. For next week's video, if you want a shout out, comment down whether you think Marinette is in love with Adrien or is in love with the idea of Adrien. I want to see your hot takes. I want to see you guys get controversial. Let's have a fun debate. So as we're coming to an end of this video, hopefully you guys can see just how deep Adrienette is. It's beyond just a girl with a crush on a boy who seems to be very oblivious. It's actually very pure and wholesome. The complexity of both Adrien and Marinette's character really contributes to how endearing their relationship is. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe and share this video. If you have any thoughts, if you feel like I've left some points out, by all means let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to respond. As for today, that's it from me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!